I'm here on Highway 99 in Phoenix, and you can see this road is closed down. We just got confirmation from police that one man was shot and killed just a few minutes ago.
With tonight being the last chance for them to gather for a debate, the Democrats and the Republicans both took advantage of that opportunity.
There's also a protest happening outside, which has prompted a large police presence here inside the building and outside the building. Trump is expected to take the stage tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm here on what used to be Shopping Center Avenue here in Harper, and I of course say used to be because you can see there's a large stretch of road here that is just gone.
We've seen it time and time again, especially this month. Scenes like this following another officer being shot and killed.
Here in East Medford, this is just one of the places that Medford School District looks at whenever they're trying to decide if they want to close schools due to weather. In emergency situations, Mercy Flight's helicopters can make a huge difference in care. Well, the plaza here in Ashland is all lit up, and hundreds of people were here in this plaza just a few hours ago.
We're here at Bingham Nolan. You can see there are already dozens of people here excited, ready to hear about what they're going to be able to see on the Brit stage. This is a new year, and we need just as many coats this year going into these bins for our kids.
During this class, participants learn to recognize what they're seeing on top of the water and also what they're not.
The plume of smoke you see behind me is from the Crescent Fire. It's burning in the Crater Lake National Park, and it's about doubled in size in the last day. Now, you may remember this one from March of 2015. Newswatch 12's cameras were rolling at that moment that police fired their guns, killing one man. But one neighbor was able to get it all on surveillance video, and now they're hoping that this video helps catch this thief.
It's this 15-page document that's prompting many schools to look into their own practices for working with transgender students. And they actually told us that they didn't feel comfortable, they didn't feel safe speaking with us because of the ongoing threat to law enforcement. Live in Central Point, Kasey Kershner, Newswatch 12.
It all started here in front of Walmart when witnesses say they saw a man grab a bike that wasn't his. Several people said they tried to step in, but in the end, it was a man and his horse that caught that suspect.
Kind of like the Wild Wild West, you know, it was kind of crazy. I thought it was a joke at first.
It's not something you see every day. A man on his horse who had roped his target, but it wasn't an animal.
It took me by surprise when I first arrived and I see a gentleman on a horse with a rope leading to an ankle.
It was like a movie. It was awesome.
Witnesses couldn't believe what they saw, and it wasn't long before they came up with a nickname for the cowboy.
The Lone Ranger is what I thought, the first thing I thought.
His real name is Robert Borba, whose life mostly consists of raising cattle and raising his kids.
Family man, cowboy.
And today, people are also calling him a hero.
He needs some kind of award or something because, you know, that was brave.
But Borba says it was just his first instinct. He heard a woman yelling about a man grabbing her bike, so he grabbed his horse.
He just throws the bike on the ground and takes off running on foot, so I went ahead and roped him, and when the rope went around his feet, I just dallied and rode off like I would cattle, you know, and I didn't really think about nothing until after I caught him. Then I was like, gotcha.
When police got there, that man was arrested.
He did what was right, he did what was safe and prudent, and it ended up in an arrest and a return of a bicycle. So everybody came out ahead.
But even so, Borba is still humble about his new title.
I don't know about hero, but I don't know. I feel like I just did the right thing, you know. I think if there were more people out there that would do the right thing, we wouldn't have all the chaos that we do.
The Eagle Point Police Department does say this was an unusual situation, but it is a good reminder to be vigilant and be aware of what's happening around you. In Eagle Point, Kasey Kershner, Newswatch 12.
A little bit closer to Merlin because we wanted to make sure that we could get you guys this update. I just got off the phone with the Curry County Sheriff's Office, who of course confirmed that Trevor Higgins has been found. He is alive, and at this point he's being airlifted to a hospital in Coos Bay. They say that he's extremely hypothermic, and at this point that's all we know about his condition. But the search is still on for Sean Higgins. That search is actually happening just to the west of where I'm at right now, and anyone familiar with the Bear Camp area knows it is extremely rural with really tough terrain. Now, some of the biggest challenges that the search crews have run into have been that steep terrain and also that severe weather that we've had over the last few days. Even so, the Sheriff's Office had about 80 search and rescue volunteers combing this area. I actually spoke with Sheriff Ward earlier on the phone today whenever both of those hunters were missing. And while Trevor has been found, there's still a lot of concerns for the whereabouts of Sean Higgins.
time is not on our side. It's they've been in there 4 nights now, and it's cold up there, and I don't know that they were actually prepared.
It's also important to note that the majority of this area has no cell phone reception, making it much harder, not only for, of course, that missing man, but also for the search parties to communicate. We did have a little bit of good news here today with them being able to locate Trevor, but Sean is still missing, and there are still a lot of search people out here trying to find him. They do ask anyone who does come out and volunteers their time for these search efforts. They're only asking that people who can handle hiking in this tough terrain to come and volunteer. Live near Merlin, Kasey Kershner, News Watch 12.
You can actually see in the distance a little bit of smoke still. Fire crews have been working both on the ground and in the air all evening to try to get this fire contained.
All these people in this town have just gotten back into their houses, and this hits us again.
For many of these people who live in Weed, today's fire was a familiar scene.
Like it's right there, and it can change at any moment, and that's a scary part.
And then the helicopters all over again. Oh my God, it's crazy.
It's been 1 year and 8 months since the Bulls fire ripped through the town of Weed, destroying hundreds of buildings and homes. Seeing the fire on the hillside again,
It's just really scary to see come home to this again and knowing that it's another fire.
Candy Balter and her mother just moved back into their home 4 weeks ago. Theirs was just one of the homes that burned during the Bulls fire in September of 2014. And she could see this fire from the front porch.
It's a heart-wrenching, sinking feeling that knowing that you stand to lose everything you just got back again.
And while this fire is under control, it still leaves an uneasy feeling throughout the town.
The circumstances are different with this one, but a fire is a fire to me anymore. I freak out when I see smoke coming out of Burger King and I don't know where it's coming from.
But there's also an appreciation for the crews that responded so quickly.
Kudos to them. You know, they knew what we went through last time. Their heart and soul is always in the fighting.
Greatly appreciated. Don't have to go through another one again.
After a breast cancer diagnosis, it may seem like life should be put on hold for treatment, but that's rarely an option. The day starts for Emily Green like it does for any mom. With 3 kids, Madison, 16, Josiah, 5, and little Caleb, just 4 years old.
We get up and I get myself ready, Madison gets ready and gets her lunch ready.
After kisses goodbye, she leaves to drop off her daughter at school.
I love you.
But that's where her normal day takes a turn.
I go to radiation. January 8th, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Invasive ductal carcinoma is what it's called.
Emily still remembers that day, a Friday afternoon, and getting a call from her doctor.
It feels like a dark cloud. There's just this dark cloud of devastation.
But now, 9 months later, it's just part of life.
In my case, it's been buoyed by the support of so many people. For the little ones, they don't understand obviously much of it. My husband had this really lovely mantra that in the beginning, he said, all right, boys, here's the rules for mama. Let mama rest, let mama heal, and let's be quiet.
A phrase still incorporated in their everyday life.
Let her resting, let her heal, and be quiet.
And for Emily, cancer has redefined what it means to be a good mom.
It's been good for me to see that I don't have to be super mom. You know, that there are seasons as a mom where there's maybe another extra cartoon that we watch. You know, that dinner isn't on the table you know, all of those things are you give yourself grace. And so that has meant a lot of no's. And everyone has been fine with it. Yeah.
Even with battling breast cancer every day, life goes on.
It doesn't stop. It becomes logistically much more difficult.
Now on her final phase of treatment, she's on track to beating the cancer.
Having walked so closely with the terror of life and death. Sometimes when I struggle with that picture, what I remember is that right now I'm alive and well. Right now is today. And today, I've got my boys today, I've got my family today, I've got my breath today, you know, and so I have today.
A GoFundMe was set up to help the Green family during this time. To find out more, you can visit our website, KDRV.com.
I'm here on Highway 99 in Phoenix, and you can see this road is closed down. We just got confirmation from police that one man was shot and killed just a few minutes ago.